Hello everyone, it's Churro. Let's take a second before I really get into this review and talk about IMAX for a bit. Now, a lot of people already know, but the whole selling point of this film, The Odyssey, is the IMAX. The Odyssey was shot entirely on IMAX because of the new technology, I believe. There's been countless debates over which version of the film you should see, because if you watch this film in different formats, you quite literally see less of the footage. Now, with that in mind, as well as it being a Christopher Nolan film, that was a big seller for IMAX. What's crazy about this though is that IMAX itself has different sizes and formats within theaters. Follow along. I'm gonna try to run this through. There's a thing that people have coined called LIMAX. A lot of fans have kind of made that phrase for fake and not true IMAX theaters. Maybe it was a normal theater that got like an IMAX renovation. Then there's double laser projectors, grand theater projectors, xenon projectors. What the fuck does that even mean? Who knows? Even with the IMAX screens, you may see a different amount of the footage. The true 70mm IMAX will see significantly more footage, with it being to 1 to 43.1 aspect ratio, I believe, which is the big fucking thing. And the non-true IMAX theaters, some can go to the 1.43 or whatever, but they mostly are 1 to 90 aspect ratio, which is different. With my interest in premium formats as well as this film coming out, it made me learn a lot about how limited and small the number of real 70mm IMAX screens actually are. IMAX has had an influx of people demanding more true IMAX screens around the world, which IMAX has kind of said like that's not really possible for whatever reason. This whole situation of trying to experience a movie, it's kind of been a little ridiculous to me personally. Like, I was seriously debating going on a 7-hour drive to see this movie, just to see it in like the proper aspect ratio in a pretty big theater screen. And even if I wanted a shorter drive to kind of get like a smaller experience, it would still be 3 hours. And then maybe 5 if I wanted like a true 70mm screen. It's kind of stupid. It does feel like a gimmick at the end of the day. But having watched the film in my just normal ass IMAX screen, I still kind of understand why there's a discussion over it. The Odyssey's visuals is a sight to see on a big screen. And it honestly makes me debate going that drive to see it on a humongous screen. Now, Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey tells the story of Homer's Odyssey, which is a fascinating story for me personally. It's one of the first real like hand-me-down stories that have been documented. From my understanding, the Odyssey was a group of stories passed down from person to person in like bars. They're kind of like campfire bar stories that were like exaggerated the more and more and the further it went along. There's a lively sense to the original way the stories were told. That kind of handed down mindset is in a sense a way of telling memories. And within the film, I love that they keep that way of storytelling. This film is mostly about Odysseus and his journey home, but his son goes to learn about the whereabouts of his father and maybe hopefully bring him home as well. Most of the journey is recollections of the War of Troy, you know, the Trojan War, told by shipmates and soldiers. It's all just memories that have faded from time. I feel this way of approaching the story adds so much to the experience of the film itself. Through the memories, there are ideas that get warped with perception and bias. As you can tell, I found the story to be quite interesting, and honestly, the way it was told was fantastic. But what truly sells the film is the scale of it all. The production, sets, amount of extras, all of that, just what's on screen is just so extraordinary. I understand the IMAX debate now because I feel like this film in IMAX was quite the experience to see. Again, just from my bullshit LIMAX theater, I still had a phenomenal experience. Just from the beginning alone, I could tell that there was care put into the scope of it all. The technicals were just masterfully handled. I did feel like some of the loudness could have been mixed differently in the editing room. It was such a loud experience that at some points I did find it to be a little too much. The only scene I felt like deserved its level of noise was a scene near the end of the film. The chaos and noise worked with the themes and ideas of the scene. With that in mind, I do recommend bringing earplugs for some scenes, honestly. Also, one of the things I did notice that felt kind of weird was some of the writing of the dialogue and scenes. While the storytelling was pretty great, it did feel like a tropey, kind of Hollywood-ish film at times that I kind of found myself rolling my eyes over. However, there was so much more that I genuinely adored more than I just disliked from the tropes and dialogue. This film honestly kept me thoroughly engaged and entertained throughout its runtime, and I found the 3 hours to be quite worth it. By the time what I felt like was the end of the film, it felt satisfying, all with what I felt like was a perfect final shot I honestly loved my experience and I can't wait to rewatch it. And I'm giving this an 8 out of 10. What did you think of the film? Did you find it to be loud? Did you watch it in IMAX? Where did you watch it? Did you watch it in Dolby? I kind of wanted to watch it in Dolby to see what that was like, but it's so loud even in IMAX. I feel like Dolby would be like literally brain shattering. I don't know. At the end of it all, let me know what you thought. Let me know your thoughts. This was Thorough Churro. I'm out of here. Bye now.